Here we go. This is it. Now,
ladies and gentlemen, tonight
this is it. The final press conference. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you're new. Welcome to the Nate Jones story. Let's get to it.
For the last crescendo.
Wait a minute, 1 second. Adi Oladipo is most certainly in the building. I don't know what Darren Barker is trying to do, trying to nick my job here, but I am here. We are all here for day 3. This is the last crescendo. Today is the press conference. We're going to see fighters hopefully share a bit of verbals with each other as well. Look at that setting. It is magnificent. All the fighters will be here, bar one. And let's get into this story straight away because it is a big one. And it's a fluid story as well. It concerns the current IBF heavyweight champion, Daniel Dubois. Now, this is, again, it's a story that's forever evolving. Ring Magazine reported about 30 minutes ago that Daniel Dubois was ill, but a doctor was evaluating him. When you heard that, you're thinking, okay, 50-50 chance he stays on the card, and fingers crossed, he does stay on the card. I said it's a fluid story because the Ring Magazine reported this about 10 minutes ago, that they are now actively looking for a replacement for Daniel Dubois. Some of the names being mentioned, Lawrence Okoli being mentioned, David Adeleye being mentioned, Aliyev being mentioned as well, which, again, lets us to believe that Daniel Dubois, the current IBF heavyweight champion, is off this fight card. Very disappointing news because it's a fight that we all were looking for, but a couple of those replacements are interesting as well. Let's bring in the team here. Darren Barker, Barry Jones. That was my feeling. You know, as soon as I saw the first tweet, again, by Ring Magazine, I was like, okay, please, let this just be a case of, you know, he's not feeling good, but he'll be okay Saturday. That second tweet, I guess, suggests that he isn't going to fight on Saturday.
Yeah, and it would be such a shame, but, you know, you got to think of the fighter's well-being. This sport is hard enough as it is, and if you're not going in the ring 100%, you've got to do the right thing. But, yeah, the names that are mentioned there are sound step-ins if they're required. I've also heard that AJ might turn up. I've also heard that Klitschko is going to turn up. So there's loads of names flying around, but let's hope that that fight still goes ahead.
Yeah, in terms of the situation, again, I mean, if you are team Dubois and you're not 100% and it's a tough fight, again, a lot of people are swinging both ways. If you're not 100%, you can understand why they're saying, okay, if you're not 100%, let's move on.
Yeah, well, if you're not 100%, it depends how bad you are. If you're just feeling a little bit unwell, I think still there's an obligation. I mean, you've got to look after your health. There's an obligation to turn up and try and win. I would say that. But if he's really ill, then of course it's a no-starter. It's disappointing. But boxing, we know boxing, it's forever, you know, giving us big surprises, disappointments, and joys. You know, we have to roll with it. Boxing is such a fluid sport, and fighters get injured all the time, and it's something we have to adapt. But the replacements are the adequate replacements for late notice, all 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had a situation with Josh Padley 48 hours ago, right? Shakur Stevenson, he's on the stage. So again, I said this yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying it. Don't get ready, stay ready. And I know for a fact that David Adeleye is ready. He's got a fight coming up April 5th, as is Lawrence Okoli, of those 3 options. So any of those guys are ready, and they could be a good replacement.
Yeah, look, it's always a little bit easier as well in the heavyweights. They haven't got to worry about losing weight. Padley, obviously, a little bit lighter for a lightweight, so he was able to make the weight. But as a heavyweight, as long as you're in a bit of form and you fought recently, it's a little bit easier. It's not as difficult. Very quickly,
Barry, very quickly. How's Joseph Parker feeling right now?
Oh, deflated and worried that he's not going to fight. And also the replacements. Murad Aliyev is a southpaw and a puncher. You know, Okoli's long reach. All these fighters are different to what the fighter he'd be training for. So even if he does get a replacement, still gets to fight, there's still no adjustments to be made.
All right, let's get this show on the road again. Loads more to unpack there. We might get a few more tweets from the Ring Magazine as well, but let's throw it downstairs to your MC, Mr. Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference for the last crescendo, a great night of World Championship Boxing to be held this Saturday from ANB Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey, Al Sheikh. This great event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Aram for Top Rank Incorporated, Gold Star Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Boxer, World of Boxing, Warriors Boxing, and Sella. Along with our great sponsors, Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudi Airlines, New Murabba Development Company, Taunia, Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Altan Feedy. A big thanks to those great sponsors. It will be shown worldwide and in the UK on DAZN and also in the UK on TNT Sports Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office. And now at this time, I hand things over to your host, Mr. Debsani.
Thank you. Thank you for the clap there, Eddie, as well. That was lovely. Thank you. Let's hear it for Thomas Treiber, by the way. Brilliant MC in town. Give him a wave, Thomas. Lovely stuff. Well, hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final press conference for the last Crescendo. This is an event that many people are calling from top to bottom the greatest fight card put together in the history of this sport. Each fight has its own unique story. Each fighter has their own unique journey to bring them here today. We've got fighters here fighting for belts, for legacy, for glory. Some are fighting to cause the upset. Some are fighting for revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the card of all cards, and we are now under 48 hours away until we reach the last Crescendo. Well, let's start by speaking to some of the people who have made this incredible show happen. I'll start with Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, and Frank will speak about the main event and co-main event in the next part. But let's speak about this incredible show that we've got, and particularly for you, Hamza Shiraz fighting for a WBC world title, and Zhile Zhang in action as well against Ajit Kabayal.
Thank you to the people and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh and GMA, our partners who have helped to make this bring this brilliant event together. So we've got this unbelievable group of fighters in amazing fights. Every one of these fights is a brilliant fight. Fight fans paradise. My Queensberry fighters are on the card, as Deb just said. Hamza, he's in a great fight with Barnes, a real good quality champion. This is a great opportunity for Hamza, a really big opportunity. We're very proud of what he's done. He's Queensberry through and through. All he's ever done from the start, he's gone out to prove himself. What a great fighter he can become. And each fight along the way, he's got better and better. And I think if there's ever going to be his moment to become a world champion, this is it. So this should be a fabulous fight, 50-50 fight. We've got a great heavyweight fight on the undercard. Big Bang Jang, and he's with Ajit. And again, what a great fight this is. Two really good quality heavyweights, both top 10 ranked. And the winner is going to get himself into a position where he's going to become a mandatory for the title. So they've got everything to gain. Again, a 50-50 fight, and the winners will be the fans watching this. The rest of the card is just a brilliant card, and I'm sure everybody along the tables will tell you how they're going to win it and the performances they're going to be putting up. But I promise you, this is the card of the century.
Top stuff. Thank you, Frank. Let's bring in Eddie Hearn. And Eddie, I've heard you speak with amazement about the quality of this card. Plenty of matchroom interest as well. Shakur Stevenson, late change of opponent. Of course, you've got Israel Madrimov and Callum Smith.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Good evening, everybody. I feel lucky. I don't know about you guys. I feel like a fight fan that's just going to have one of the greatest nights on Saturday. The opportunity to sit there and watch, without doubt, the greatest fight card we've ever seen. So many great fights, and the opportunity for the sport of boxing to keep expanding, to keep growing around the world. If we keep producing nights like this through Riyadh season, the sport is going to continue to grow. And His Excellency is doing so and leading the way with tremendous passion, but he's also doing it in a way that is truly respecting the fighters. I want to focus firstly from our side on the WBC Lightweight World Championship between Shakur Stevenson and Josh Padley. As we know, Floyd Schofield was withdrawn from the fight from the British Boxing Board of Control on Tuesday. It's a disaster for a show. It's a disaster for a promoter, because somehow we've got to find a replacement for Shakur Stevenson. He's been training for 12 weeks. He's ready to fight. And we did that in a way that really warmed my soul, because there was no doubt from His Excellency that he wanted to make sure Shakur Stevenson fought on Saturday. But in doing that, we also gave a life-changing opportunity to another fighter in Josh Padley, a guy that was in training, a guy that was ready for that phone call that got him out of bed and on a plane the next day for an opportunity to fight for a world title and financially secure himself. And in this sport, that it has to be the aim. Fighters have to strive for legacy, but at the same time, they have to make sure that financially they can live a great life after boxing. And we really wish the best of luck to Josh Padley, and I want to thank His Excellency for personally allowing this fight to continue. The man on my left, I think greatness is a word that is thrown around a lot in boxing now. I think greatness is a fantastic word for Shakur Stevenson. As a young man who's already a 3-division world champion, I believe this is a guy that can go down in the footsteps of quality like a Leonard, like a Pernell Whitaker, like a Mayweather. For me, this is one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters on the planet now. And there's so much more to give. He's not even scraped the surface in terms of his ability, his quality, and the legacy that he will produce in the sport. So enjoy watching this young man tomorrow, because he's going to be at the top of boxing for a long time. Thanks to the team, Josh Dubin, Jay Prince, everybody, for making sure this man can showcase his skills on Saturday night. Also, Israel Madrimov against Virgil Ortiz. For me, I think this is the fight of the night. Israel Madrimov jumped in with Terence Crawford. You know how I feel about that fight. It was a very, very close fight. Virgil Ortiz is a fantastic fighter. Matchroom and Golden Boy duke heads in what is, for me, one of the best fights in the 154-pound division. And anytime you start a fight card with Callum Smith against Joshua Buatsi, a fight that can headline the O2 in London, headline the Liverpool Arena, you know this is a fight card for the ages. Callum Smith Buatsi is one of the top British fights out on the scene now at a world level. And we believe Callum Smith will be victorious in a tremendous fight, as we do Israel Madrimov, as we do Shakur Stevenson. Thank you for letting Matchroom and our great fighters be part of this moment in time, this moment in history on February the 22nd, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. Sit back. If you're a fight fan, get ready for the greatest night you've ever witnessed. And if you're new to the sport, well, welcome. Don't get used to this every week, but enjoy your journey in boxing, because it's the greatest sport in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Great stuff. Fantastic stuff. Let's hear from some of these fighters up here. There's young Muhammad Alakal, fight number 3 for him. And I mean, I've only got really one question for you, Muhammad. I've seen the photos, I've seen the videos. You've been with Roberto Duran. What kind of tips have you picked up from that legend?
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, the last 2 weeks of my camp, I've been training with Roberto Duran. I've learned a lot from that experience, and hopefully I can showcase my skills come Saturday night.
By the way, Roberto Duran just arrived. Can we please get a round of applause for Hands of Stone, an absolute living legend. Our greatest living fighter is in the building. Great to see you, Roberto. Let's bring in Ziad Al-Mayouf. Now, Ziad, at the launch press conference, you gave such a passionate speech about Saudi boxing and being a flag bearer. How important is it for you to keep up your momentum on Saturday night?
Well, you know, first of all, I just want to welcome everyone and welcome the world on behalf of our leadership and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to Saudi Arabia. So welcome everyone to Saudi Arabia. I want to thank our inspirational leadership, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman, and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for their vision in Vision 2030 that has inspired so many like me, and me especially, and the youth in this kingdom to make history. And that's what you should expect of me Saturday night, God willing. And also not just the support, but the complete adoption of His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for me, my career, and all Saudi boxers, including Mighty Mo here tonight with us together on the card. And you know, it's very important for me to keep my momentum. But what's more important for me is to keep reminding myself that this pressure that is on me is what has gotten me here today. I'm not a victim to the pressure. I'm a superhero because of that pressure. I get to stand for something. I get to give hope and make dreams come true and have others look up to me and try to achieve it even bigger and better. And since I'm on the world stage, to say two things. You know, everyone always keeps telling me you need to start doing this for yourself. You need to start fighting this career for yourself. It wouldn't mean anything if I did it just for myself. What I love about this career is who I'm doing it for, the kingdom, the Arab world, the younger generation that are going to come after me and look up to Zizo. And the second thing is, to the world, if only 1% listen to this message, then I've done my job. Every single person you see on this card today and on this table is a great boxer, yes, but a much better fighter outside of the ring than they are inside of the ring. Whatever you are doing in life, if you want to be on this stage in whatever field you're in, you are going to be pushed to the brink of quitting, never giving up, and thinking it's not for you. Every single person on this table has felt it, and every single person is sitting on this table because they've pushed past it. So my message to the world is to just never give up, because I'm so glad everyone here, and myself especially, didn't.
Thank you. Brilliant stuff. I'll tell you, every time Ziad Al-Mayouf talks, I start getting chills. Fantastic speech there. Thank you so much, Ziad. Let's bring in Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions. And Spencer, you're involved, of course, in making all of this happen, but particularly you've got a couple of guys involved from your side, Hamza Shiraz and Ajit Kabayal.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to what I think will be a future heavyweight champion of the world. And the same with Hamza. Both guys are gentlemen. They're so nice to deal with. I mean, Hamza's an exemplary human being. It's a pleasure to work with, and for me, he's the best middleweight in the world at the moment. I know he's got Mr. Adamas to fight, who again I think he's an unbelievable fighter. I think it will be a mega fight. I don't think there'll be that much in it, but I think our man will become victorious. And our other fight as well, don't forget Joe Parker as well. We're just trying to sort that one out at the moment. And then I'm sitting next to what I think is a so underestimated fighter in Ajit Kabayal. He's proved he chops people down like wood. He's proved that on the big stage you can do it and do it really well. He, if he wins this, he's, you know, and the stars align, he's in for some massive fights. And I can't see too many people beating this guy. I really can't. So keep your hats on for Saturday. It is literally the best card you'll ever see. It's the best card you'll ever see. If you're going to buy pay-per-view, get it now. You know, I'm looking forward to all of it. There's some great fighters on this card, some great fights from top to bottom. Quality, quality, quality. It just screams at you. And this is a history-making card. So everybody here enjoy it. It's a sellout crowd. You can't buy a seat in the stadium. You can't get a seat or get a ticket anywhere. So this is one of the biggest events that Saudi's put on, and fair play to Turkey Al Sheikh, because what he's done in this one, he's really pushed the boat out. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Thank you, Spencer. Okay, listen, the reason why this fight is this card is so brilliant is that there are fights here which could headline anywhere, and this is one of them. Callum Smith, Joshua Buatsi, the WBO interim light heavyweight championship on the line. We've got a light heavyweight main event, and we've got this fascinating fight between these two guys fighting for the right. Firstly, let's bring in Ben Shalom, Joshua Buatsi's promoter here. And Ben, it's a big, important fight for your man, Josh.
It's a huge fight. First want to say thank you to His Excellency. Thank you to Riyadh Season. It's an honor to be here. It's an incredible card. Even as a fan, Saturday night is going to be something very special. But the reason why we're here is Joshua Buatsi is this man. It's been an unbelievable journey so far. It's been a flawless journey so far. He's been through the whole of the domestic scene, but now it's time to step up to elite level and world level. And Josh has been preparing for this moment since the fight has been announced. And Callum Smith truly is elite level. I believe this fight can steal the show. And I believe it's going to be a massive, massive statement for Joshua Buatsi, who has his eyes on the main event.
Thank you very much, Ben. Let's bring in Callum Smith, who is the challenger on Saturday night. And Callum, give us your thoughts on Joshua Buatsi. And tell me this, you being a former world champion, do you feel like you're a class above Joshua Buatsi?
Yeah, I just feel I'm the better fighter. I think, it's a good fight. Stylistically, it should be a good one. And I think the fact that it's on this show and, sharing the stage with so many great fighters says how good the fighter is and the magnitude of the show and the occasion. But I'm fully focused on why I'm here, and that's to do a job and perform, showcase my skills, and ultimately get the win this weekend.
Well, Joshua, I know you are the interim champion and you very much want to become the full world champion. Tell us how you're feeling and tell us why you come away with the win on Saturday night.
It's a short message, Dev. We're 2 days away, so I'll see everyone Saturday, 22nd of February.
I was expecting a short message, to be honest, Joshua. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Callum Smith. Let's move to the heavyweight division where we've got this fantastic WBC interim heavyweight championship clash. Zhilei Zhang, Ajit Kabayao. And I want to start with Ajit Kabayao here. Now, Zhilei was asked earlier in the week to give 3 reasons why he beats you. His reasons were bang, bang, bang. Tell us how you intend on dealing with Chinese power on Saturday.
First of all, thank you, Turkey Al Sheikh, my manager Spencer Brown, and Queensberry Promotion. Yeah, I heard he says this more time he will bang me. Saturday we will see he bang me or I bang him.
Well, let's find out from Zhilei Zhang, who I'm sure has his own idea as to who will be banging who. Zhilei, you've made it pretty clear that you can knock out Ajit Kabayao. He's unbeaten. Tell us why you're so confident you will knock him out.
因为我的自信就来自于我的生活，来自于我的训练，所以说周六我要办他。
Sorry guys, my confidence comes from my training and my discipline. I'm going to bang him Saturday.
I'm big man. I bang you. No dealing.
Thank you, Zhilei. Thank you, Ajit. Brilliant. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, just a brilliant heavyweight fight. Okay, let's move to the middleweight division where Carlos Adames, this is serious business, this fight, believe me. Carlos Adames, the WBC World Middleweight Champion, defends his crown against the challenger, Hamza Shiraz, the unbeaten challenger. And I'll come to you here, Hamza. I mean, this is the opportunity, the platform, everything you've been working for on Saturday, but also you've got an opponent here who has been pretty vocal in the build-up, saying he's going to take your head out.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty Allah for allowing us to be here today. I'd like to thank Frank Warren, a man who's believed in me from when no one did. I'd like to thank Spencer Brown for everything. And yeah, Dev, this is what dreams are made of. When it comes to this level, listen, I've never been a man to say too many words or talk too much shit, to be fair. I just go about my business and handle it, and Saturday night it's no different.
Okay, well, let's hear from your opponent, Carlos Adames, the champion. And Carlos, you have been referring to Hamza Shiraz as your next victim. You've said that you don't believe the hype. What are you thinking ahead of Saturday night?
Bueno, primeramente, muchísimas gracias a todos. Me siento muy contento de estar aquí, gran cartelera, representar mi país. Pienso que todavía no he enfrentado peleadores de calidad, peleadores de alto nivel. El primer peleador de alto nivel que va a enfrentar se supone que es el más peligroso de toda la división de los 160 y por eso lo voy a vencer fácil.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm really happy to be fighting on this card and really happy to represent my country. I believe that he hasn't fought any fighter with the skill level close to mine, and his first real fight will be against the best guy in the 160 division.
Okay, what's the prediction on Saturday?
Será una buena pelea. No tengo nada pronosticado, pero sé que será una buena pelea y no llegará a la decisión.
I'm sure it will be a very good fight, but it won't be a decision.
Thank you very much, Carlos Adames. Thank you, Hamza Shiraz. Let's move to a brilliant fight in the super welterweight division. Virgil Ortiz and Israel Madrimov, a little bit also of a golden boy against Matchroom here. I want to bring in the golden boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, you've backed Virgil Ortiz, the man sat next to you from the very start, but this is a tough assignment on Saturday night.
Absolutely. It's a very, very difficult fight for both guys. Primeramente, quiero hablar en español para todos los fans, por todo el mundo viendo en vivo en DAZN el sábado, porque va a haber compadres de Panamá, de México, de Cuba, de España. Everybody's going to be watching across the globe, and this card, by far, is the best card that I've seen in decades. I remember Don King putting on cards with Mike Tyson, Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez on the same bill. I think this tops it. I believe that all the young fighters here are here to prove something, and they're going to show it Saturday night. These are not easy fights. These are pick'em fights, and I do want to thank Eddie Hearn. I do want to thank Shakur Stevenson for being very professional, and I'm sorry for what happened to Kid Austin. And because I know as a fighter myself, I know that all the hard work and dedication you put into this fight. So, and all the very best, Eddie. You stepped in and you made it happen. So this fight, this card is going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. And what can I tell you about Virgil Ortiz? Every single opponent, except for one, has gone down, has been knocked out. Not only does it show you how strong he is, how active he is, his determination, but how smart he is. Virgil Ortiz is not going to go in there and, yeah, he wants to put in a show. He wants to put on a great show for everyone to watch, because this card, this Riyadh season card, is going to be televised globally for everyone to enjoy at a fraction of a cost of pay-per-view. And we have to thank Turki El-Sheikh. We have to thank Salah and Dr. Rakan for putting this incredible card together. But I'll tell you one thing. I love the main event, Bivol, Beterbiev. It's an amazing rematch. But this fight here, I believe, as a fighter, not as a promoter, as a fighter, this fight right here will steal the show on Saturday night. Not because I dislike anybody, no, it's because these young men are the best in their weight division. They're the best at what they do. They're strong, they're powerful, they're smart, and they want to prove that they're the best at 154. So, guys, enjoy, que disfrutan, esta gran pelea, esta gran noche de peleas. Así que gracias, muy amable. Thank you very much, Turkey. Thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you, Oscar. Well, let's bring in Israel Madrimov. And I just have one question for you, Israel. I know you're not big on talking, but they call you the Dream. Tell us why you are a nightmare for Virgil Ortiz on Saturday night.
Assalamu alaikum. Since my debut, I always chased big fights. Thanks to Riyadh season, His Excellency. I have another big fight. Inshallah, I show great fight on Saturday. I want to show my skills for fans, boxing fans, because.
Okay, let's hear from Virgil Ortiz. Thank you, Israel. Great stuff. Well, Virgil, you have sounded very motivated all week. You've been talking about how you want to be a throwback fighter. This is a throwback kind of fight. Tell me what you're thinking. How are you going to get the job done?
First of all, I want to thank Turkey for giving me the opportunity to showcase my skills over here in Saudi Arabia, across the world. I want to thank my promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, people working in Golden Boy, Devin De La Hoya, Larry out here doing the videography, Jane, and, my coaches, Robert Garcia, my dad, Hector Beltran, Robert Garcia Jr., Charles Tremblay, anyone that I might have missed, just thank you. Without you guys, I would not be here. And, there's not much to say. I think that, in my opinion, trying to be unbiased as I can, this is the best fight on the card. It's going to steal the show. But I'm very excited to see all these other fights happen in person. Very privileged to be here. And I'm not going to let this opportunity go to waste. So nothing much else to say. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Virgil Ortiz. We look forward to Saturday night.
Thank you to Dr. B for coming. All right, sorry.
A couple of legends just arrived in the building. I can see Lennox Lewis and Bernard Hopkins taking their seat. Great stuff. Let's talk about this surprise fight which has emerged this week in the lightweight division for the WBC World Lightweight Championship. Of course, it was meant to be Shakur against Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield can't fight. And in steps Josh Padley. Josh, I just want to know, what has your last 48 hours been like? Talk to us.
Everybody involved in Riyadh season, Turkey Al Sheikh and Matchroom Boxing for this opportunity. This is my second time involved in a Riyadh season event now, and I'm feeling truly blessed to be here. But the last 48 hours has been absolutely crazy for me. A dream opportunity. This is the pinnacle of boxing, and this is what I'm in it for.
Looking forward to it?
Absolutely. Like you say, this is everybody's dream. If you get into boxing, you aim for a world title. Not many people even get the opportunity to fight for it, and here I have. I've got it on 4 days' notice, so I'm absolutely ecstatic.
Great stuff. Well, Shakur Stevenson, same question to you. What's the last 48 hours been like for you?
It's been kind of crazy. There's been a lot going on, but I remain focused. I know I put in a lot of work this training camp, and I'm coming here with the same mentality. I know there's a guy that want to take food off my table, and I'm not going to let him.
Bit of a danger of the unknown here. How are you dealing with that?
I fought in the amateurs. I feel like it reminds me of the amateurs where you don't know who you're going to fight next. So it's okay. I'm going to go fill them out, and then I'm going to take care of business.
More pressure to get the job done?
Nah, it's always a little bit of pressure, but like I said, I'm locked in, I'm focused, and I'm coming to get them.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Shakur. Thank you, Josh Padley. Great to see you here, Josh. We're going to do a face-off between the fighters now, and we'll be back very shortly for the main event. Thank you.
Okay, that was that. We heard from the fighters. We heard from managers and promoters as well. Remember, it is two parts to this press conference. We are going to see the chief support, I guess one side of the chief support, and the main event fighters on stage next as well. Loads of things happening, by the way, loads of activations during this press conference. We are going to hear from Richard Suleiman and something a bit special after the presser as well. What do you take from that, guys? I'll start with you, Barry. I mean, no fireworks. I mean, there's no Derek Chisora throwing tables or anything like that.
No, well, to be honest, we knew that because the characters all these boxers are, they're quite respectful and business-like, so we didn't expect any sort of antics of a white Chisora press conference, but you know, they all look focused. I think you get to this stage of the week, though, because these weeks are such long. They're for us, not for them, these weeks. Let's not forget that. So they're just ready to fight, I think. And so it's nice that they'll be able to have a little stay at the stair. You see Boatsy coming up here now. Callum Smith shortly as well is going to try and tower over Joshua Boatsy. And then they'll be able to look at each other's eyes, have a little bit of a tell maybe, but I don't think we're going to see anything dramatic today.
Darren, you spoke to Josh Padley a bit earlier before the press conference. What is he feeling? What's going through his mind right now?
Very relaxed, calm, and he understands there is absolutely zero pressure on his shoulders going into this fight. But he understands that there's an opportunity here. And I asked him, what's the mindset going into this fight? What are you expecting from yourself? And he said, look, I'm not coming in just to make up the numbers. I'm going to give everything to try and fulfill a dream and become a world title. Look, this would be one of the biggest upsets ever. This would be huge. He understands it, but I'm telling you now, he's in form and he's going to give it absolutely everything.
The fight a lot of people are calling the fight of the night, Sergio, is Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. Virgil Ortiz seems cool, calm, and collective on stage. That's just him, I guess, right? You know him better than the rest of us. What's he like right now?
He's always cool, calm, and collected. He's a man that believes in his power, and I think he knows the challenge in front of him. And he's a pressure fighter. Madrimov is an angle, footwork type of fighter, very intelligent. He comes with a lot of confidence after that Bud Crawford fight where he did really well. That's the reason he's the underdog. Virgil knows he's the underdog. He's in a fight to win this fight. He knows it's a big moment.
Muhammad Alakal looks about 3 weight classes above his opponent here, doesn't he? I mean,
yeah, this is a bit of a height difference there. But that's not
bit of a height difference.
Yeah, but that's not always a plus. You know, like
even his frame looks bigger.
Yeah, he looks big. And the most important thing is this is another development fight for him. The improvement from the first fight to the second was absolutely dramatic. If that can be replicated in this third fight, then he's on his way to being something a little bit special.
You know what? Completely away from this press conference, DMITRY BIVOL is to our left here on the stage. He's been there for 25 minutes.
Not only that, but you can see him moving back and forth because it's kind of cold out here.
Yeah.
It's cold out here. He's warming himself up. It's like he's warming up to get in the ring. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts shadow boxing.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's here so early. Ziad Al-Mayouf always speaks well. Great representation of Saudi Arabia. Knows exactly what to say. He ticks all the boxes that Ziad Al-Mayouf wants and needs a better performance, though, this Saturday.
He does. I think, listen, every stage of it, all of our careers, you get that fight where you underperformed or maybe, or you start to learn what it's all about. So sometimes digging in a little bit more strength, managing fights better, and I think that will be a lesson that he learned, hopefully, and he can improve.
Here we go, Darren. Big one, this. Big one. Joshua Boatsy versus Callum Smith. I mean, I know David Benavidez will be here on Saturday, but really and truly, if Joshua Boatsy comes through this one, it's a world title crack. Because Callum Smith's a challenge.
The pot of gold here is absolutely massive. But this fight, stylistically, it is fantastic. Look, I think they're going to lock horns straight away. So much.
This one, Sergio, could be a great fight as well. Zhili Zhang versus Cambiao. I think there'll be about 50 pounds difference between the two. Zhang around 280. Cambiao always does around the mid-230s. What an intriguing fight this is.
It is an intriguing fight, and you know, everyone knows that Big Bang Jang, the later the fight goes, his technique starts to wither away. And this is a man in Caballao that's confident in his technique, coming off the 2 biggest fights of his career. He's dangerous on the inside, and once on the inside, getting past that reach, that size advantage of Zhang, then actually that turns against him, and Caballao could be doing some mean things in there. He will be destructive in that ring.
Yeah, great fight. They'll be looking at the co-main or what will be a part of the co-main and thinking they want a slice of that pie as well. Both of these guys on the cusp of a world title crack. Here we go. I've decided this is my fight of the night between two people that I really struggle to pick a winner. And there's a lot of 50-50 fights on this card, but I genuinely believe, Barry, this is 50-50.
I never do this, and this is the first fight that I flip-flopped on.
Oh.
I mean, who I think is going to win.
Rightly so.
But I never do it. And I think that's just shows the quality and the matchmaking of this card. This is a really hard pick, because I think what they both do so well might suit the other fighter. So I think, stylistically, it's a great matchup.
I love it. You've got a peak Mexican style, and you've got a peak Eastern European style. And we're going to see what style's the best, Aaron.
Oh, it's fantastic. It really is. It's a clash of styles, but so much to like about this fight and so much on the line. And I like what they both said. They both believe this is the biggest fight in the division.
All right, this was once your weight division, Sergio Mora. Although 154 you campaigned it as well, but you did the 160. Artur Beterbiev versus Hamza Shiraz. A bit of bad blood between these two as well.
Listen, bad blood normally translates well into the ring, but this is one fight that the closer it gets, I'm trying to flip up on Barry, because like you with Luati and Smith, that's how I am out of this one. Initially, I favored Shiraz, but then I started thinking, okay, he hasn't really stepped up in competition like Adam is. That's a world champion right there. That's a guy with a lot of pedigree. I want to see how Shiraz reacts when he gets hit on the chin. How's that leg going to react? Is this going to be the power puncher coming forward? A lot of unanswered questions. This is a 50-50, like we continue saying on this card.
Do you know what I've done? I've flip-flopped with what I think is going to be fight of the night. I'm now thinking this is going to be fight of the night.
When you say this, you're not referring to Shakur, Josh Padley. Which one?
That's just because I've been saying that all night.
No, well, you're the voice of reason about that.
Josh Paddy Padley taking on the defending champion Shakur Stevenson. This Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest.
I love this.
Will be for the
I love
WBC
stories in boxing. I mean, it's all well and good, when the superstars get the superstar money and the superstar limelight. When a fighter that not many people knew about gets opportunities like this, and he deserves it because of the Mark Chamberlain performance, it kind of warms me. I love it.
In the 90s, a boxer called Steve Robinson from Wales took a world title fight at 48 hours notice and went on to have 8 successful defenses and only lost to Nazim Hamid. Dreams sometimes come true. Take the opportunity, just say yes and believe, and then all of a sudden, you're a big-time fighter. But this is a huge step. Shakur Stevenson is an absolute phenomenal talent, and if he's on form, it's a hard night for Josh Padley.
There you go, the voice of Barry Jones. All right, press conference number 1 done. Press conference number 2 coming up. Stick with us, DAZN, the king of boxing.
The undisputed global home of boxing is on DAZN, where the greatest fighters in the world and the best promoters in the game come together.
We got to fight tomorrow, man!
For boxing in 2025, that means more.
What does the future look like?
More fights, more knockouts, more shocks, more shakeups.
The fight itself was just phenomenal.
With big fights every month and over 150 a year, imagine what matchups could happen next. There will be more contenders at all the weights for all the belts, from rising stars to superstars.
Are you
At venues all over the planet with unbeatable broadcast talent.
Hello, people.
Good to have you with us this evening.
Experts, analysis, champions, legends.
It's that first punch that lands, dictates who's going to win.
Nobody brings you closer to the action anywhere, on any device.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Because if the fight is on, it's on DAZN, the global home of boxing.
Yeah, so much big-time boxing coming your way on DAZN in the next couple of months. Big-time boxing coming your way on Saturday as well. Press conference is underway here at Boulevard City. Press conference 1 done. Press conference 2 still to come. Look who's joined us. The president of Golden Boy Promotions, Mr. Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya, is here. You know, when you say it's the greatest fight card of all time, that's when I start to believe it, because you've been in some great fight cards.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the Don King ones like nobody else.
Ooh.
Is it the number one? Is it the best you've seen?
It is. It is by far. I mean, look, yes, you had the Tysons, the Chavez, Trinidad, but who were they fighting?
Yeah.
On this card, every fight is even. Every fight is just like, wow, who's gonna win, right? I'm excited, obviously, for Virgil my guy and Madrimov. I mean, that's going to probably steal the show. If you love action, if you love knockouts, I mean, it's going to be incredible. But look, I was talking to Shakur Stevenson. What a professional. Shakur Stevenson, he is just like, hey, just bring him on. I'm ready. I'm focused. I'm determined. So he's ready to fight.
Oscar, clear up this Floyd Schofield situation for us, because as you know, social media's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's conspiracy theories, everyone's pointing fingers. You would have spoken to senior and junior. Clear it up for us. What happened?
Well, look, the information I know, because the BBBC will not come back from the hospital until tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll know exactly what went on. But look, if a fighter's not feeling well and he's feeling a little oozy, whatever, and he has to go to the hospital, then just because of security reasons and or health issues, you have to really pay attention to that. And that's exactly what the BBBC did. Is they said, look, this is too risky. This is the fight game. Let's let him live for another day.
He's still young. He's
exactly.
young.
He's 21 years old. So look, the fact that Eddie Hearn, the fact that everyone here, Turki Al-Sheikh, the fact that
Josh Padley
just made it happen. They didn't lose the fight with Shakur Stevenson. So that right there, we're very blessed, because Shakur Stevenson is something very special.
Indeed.
No, Oscar, I want to go back to Virgil Ortiz and Madrimov. I mean, as fighter to fighter. And first of all, I got to give you credit for speaking Spanish here in front of the people here in Saudi Arabia.
You have
I love it. No, me encantó.
We're being watched globally.
Me encantó.
Okay, 1 second. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
That's a promoter. That's a promoter for you. But as a fighter,
thank you.
How do you see Virgil Ortiz? We know he brings the pressure, the volume, the power, but Madrimov is a brilliant feat. How is he going to do to be successful? Not only cutting off the ring, but how do you land those heavy hands on a guy that's hard to hit like Madrimov?
Well, look, I take as a fighter, I take a look at Madrimov and Crawford, right? Crawford was successful. He beat him, yes. But Madrimov, he was doing something that was confusing Crawford, and that was on his toes and moving side to side and giving him angles. So obviously, Virgil Ortiz's camp is very aware of that. They've prepared for a Madrimov that is going to box, that is going to move side to side, but also that is going to come forward and bang. So what does Virgil Ortiz do? If I was in Virgil's shoes, I would push him back, because Madrimov, what I've seen, cannot fight going backwards. So what I would do is push him back, side to side, move your head, and just relentless, just like Virgil is, relentless. And one thing about Madrimov, when he fights with his guard up. What's open? The body. And Virgil Ortiz to the body is relentless.
Oscar, stick with us. I've got so many more questions to you, but WBC President Marissa Suleiman's on stage because we have a very special announcement.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mauricio Sulaiman. I am the son of Jose Sulaiman and the president of the WBC, the World Boxing Council. My father was in boxing all his life, and he grew up seeing all the sacrifices, all the dreams that all the fighters have from all over the world. And he had a dream. He passed away 11 years ago when he was just going to start the Professional Boxing World Cup. 14 months ago, the boxing world has changed due to the arrival of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season, and the leader, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. What we have seen in this past year and a half is the greatest fights, the greatest events that anyone could dream of. And this is what's going to happen this Saturday night. When I had the honor to meet Turki Al-Sheikh, we talked about the fighters and his passion for boxing. I shared with him my father's vision and dream, and immediately he said, let's make it happen. It is then that we put together with Sela and with the tremendous support and vision and leadership of Turki Al-Sheikh, Dr. Rakan and his team, the Riyadh Season WBC Boxing Grand Prix. This is the first ever event in which the young talent are going to have the opportunity to come out from the unknown parts of the world to have the opportunity to shine through the Grand Prix of boxing. It is about 4 weight categories: featherweight, super lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. 32 fighters per division, which is 128 fighters in total. The first round is at 6 rounds. Then the final is going to be 8 rounds. 5 events in total here in Saudi Arabia in different cities of the kingdom. I am so proud and so enthused to see what we have had. We're going to have a series of innovations. There will be no draw. There's going to be open scoring after the 2nd and the 4th round, so the fighters and the fans are alert of the official scores of the judges. Instant replay. And today we have, out of the 1,000 applications, fighters from 41 countries of the world. The grand season is going to start precisely in April. We're going to be announcing very soon who those 128 fighters are. And at this moment, I would like to ask one of the greatest champions in the history of boxing, who is going to be one of the ambassadors for this Riyadh Season WBC Boxing Grand Prix, to come and present the official trophy, Mr. Lennox Lewis.
This is every boxer's dream, to box for the WBC belt. So this is their opportunity, and here it is.
Thank you so much, champ. We'll be explaining in detail within next week everything that is going to be happening. I'm just so very proud, very thankful to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As I said, to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, Dr. Rakan, Ali, and the whole team. We have put a great team together to make it happen, and it's going to be sensational. Thank you so very much. Inshallah, God bless you, and enjoy this Saturday night. Thank you.
I love it. Boxing's evolving, boxing's changing, but I will say, it reminds me of the Contender Series, which, let's be honest, was the greatest boxing thing on TV.
Oh my
we've ever
gosh.
seen. How good
With
was the
Sergio
Contender?
winning it,
Oh,
we should bring the Contender back.
I wanted Manfredo to win.
You sound like Chris Mannix now.
I wanted Manfredo. But it is good though, isn't it? I mean, it's got age limits as well, experience limits, and that's kind of what the Contender had, didn't it?
That's exactly what it was. They combed the entire nation looking for the best talent, but not only in boxing. You got to have a certain look. You have to know how to talk in front of the camera. You have to know how to promote yourself. It was a little bit of everything because it was the show business, not just fight business. So I think what Mauricio Suleiman is trying to do here is something similar to get the casual fan involved. And the fighters, they want to be on camera. They want to get the fights. They want to get the big money, but they got to understand that they got to evolve.
Sure.
They have to
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
They have to fight five rounds. The time's going to be different. The rounds are going to be different. They have to be fighting your friends that you're getting accustomed to. It's going to be tournament style bracket. You don't know who you're training or preparing for. Totally different.
I can tell you're auditioning to be in it. He wants to be in it. I can tell.
Oh yeah.
I can tell. No, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Part 2, the Contender. Yeah.
You know what I really liked, Oscar, what Mauricio said there? 41 countries. He's had applications from 41 countries. And that's important to show boxing is a worldwide sport.
No, and it's a testament of how popular boxing is amongst a young, demographic.
Yeah.
Boxing is coming up with the Tyson fight, the Jake Paul, all these fights that the DAZN is doing. I mean, the DAZN is upping their game.
Hey.
I'm extremely proud of being part of this evolution of platform that has been happening with boxing, with the DAZN. Look, people, and that's exactly why I spoke in Spanish, because I get calls from everywhere, in Venezuela and you name it, Mexico. Like, people love watching great fights, and the DAZN has the best fights.
I want to go back to Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov at Latino Fight Night. I remember saying to Virgil, okay, give me your top 3 and the top three at the time was Crawford, Ennis, Fundora. We didn't talk about Madrimov. Madrimov is arguably, I think, harder than at least two of those guys.
Sure. He's a very talented, skillful young man who don't take a look at his knockout ratio, but he has power.
Yeah.
And when he uses it, he knocks people out. But he relies mostly on his boxing abilities, which is great. You can dance around your partner all night and win a fight. But if you want to really impress, watch Saturday night. He is going to want to really impress against Vergil Ortiz because he knows this is a tough fight. Vergil Ortiz is not going to fold. Vergil Ortiz is not going to wait for him. He's going to go and press the action and make it a grueling, tough fight.
Who's favorite? And don't answer based on Oscar De La Hoya sitting next to you.
You know I
mean,
won't.
Oscar's right there. You might just say,
He
right?
tells the truth.
Who's favorite?
I always tell the truth, even when I lie. And I'm not going to lie here. I think it's going to be hard for Vergil to cut off the ring with Madrimov because I've seen him have issues with movers before. We've seen it with Michael McKinson, who had zero power.
Sure.
Madrimov brings power to the table. Now, did Vergil learn from that and going to be able to capitalize? We're going to have to see it, and it's going to unfold right in front of our eyes, Oscar.
It is.
Oscar, we are going to see DMITRY BIVOL and ARTUR BETERBIEV on stage in a few moments. Obviously, look, fantastic fight in the light heavyweight division. You're a neutral on that one. You don't promote either.
No.
Who do you think wins that one?
I love the fact that there's a rematch, first of all, right? This is probably one of the best rematches we're going to see in recent time. But Bivol, I have to go with Bivol.
Oh.
And the reason why is because he's the better man to adjust, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I see his amateur pedigree. I see first of all, his footwork
is incredible.
Bar none is like one of the best I've seen in the business. Every time I see Bivol, I compliment him on his footwork. His footwork is sneaky. His footwork takes you out of rhythm. I think Bivol is going to adjust to a heavier footed fighter in Beterbiev. I think that Beterbiev is going to come with the same game plan. He's going to pressure, bring down the hammer with both fists. But I really do think that Bivol will adjust, move, use angles side to side, and pick him apart.
Isn't it funny that every champion, every boxer, everyone that actually has fought on the world championship level is picking Bivol, but it's a fan, it's a critics, it's a hardcore boxing fanatics that are going for Beterbiev because they see the power, they see how mean he is, they see that he won the first fight. It doesn't matter. Anybody that's been in the ring understands what Bivol does and how hard it is to beat, and that's why he's the pick.
Sergio, thank you. Oscar De La Hoya, thank you so much as well.
All right.
Part two of the press conference is ready to begin. Let's throw it down to your MC, Mr. Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the final press conference for the last crescendo, an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment with a top-to-bottom card considered by many to be the best in the history of the sport. And it's all right here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at the ANB Arena Saturday night. And it's brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GEA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated, Gold Group, Saudi Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawunia, Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanifi. Special thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, and the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh. So, ladies and gentlemen, the main event Saturday night, the rematch the world has been waiting for. Will it be revenge? Will it be repeat? We're all going to find out in almost 48 hours. So at this time, let's bring the fighters to the stage here, ladies and gentlemen, for this final press conference. First of all, That contest is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. The two very best light heavyweights in the world for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Please welcome first the challenger, an excellent professional record, 24 fights, 23 victories, 12 wins by knockout, only one defeat. He's looking for revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, DMITRY BIVOL. Former world champion DMITRY BIVOL and his opponent, also with an outstanding record, but it happens to be a perfect one. He has 21 fights, 21 victories, 20 wins by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undisputed, reigning, defending light heavyweight champion of the world, ARTUR BETERBIEV. He is the reigning and defending champion, ARTUR BETERBIEV. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let me turn it over to our host, the always dapper, the always eloquent, DAZN.
Well, thank you very much, Michael Buffer. By the way, if you're going to have the greatest fight card in history, you've got to have the greatest MC in history. Let's hear it for Michael Buffer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, of course, the main event is a huge rematch, and I feel like since the rematch has been announced, the world has had a countdown timer in its head waiting. Well, that countdown is nearly over. Saturday night, Beterbiev and Bivol, they do it all over again. I'm going to start by bringing in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Warren here. Frank, there are reports out there surrounding a situation with Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. What can you tell us?
Excuse me. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, Daniel's been evaluated by a doctor, and when we have more news, we will share it with you and update you.
Joseph Parker is here. Joseph Parker is sat down. Joseph, just keen to get your thoughts. What's going on in your head right now?
If he is ill, hope he gets better soon, and I'm looking forward to Saturday and putting on a great show.
Okay, let's bring in Spencer Brown as well. I've seen you've been on the phone a fair bit. What's going on from your end?
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussions. Like Frank says, he's been assessed by a doctor at the moment. So we are just trying to find out whether it's good or bad news. But whatever it's going to be, Joe's there. There will be a fight Saturday. Whoever's there, Joe's ready to fight. He's ready to go. He's ready to win. So that's it. Whoever we're going to fight Saturday, Joe's up for it. He doesn't care. He's one of them fighters. He'll fight anybody.
And Joe, just a final one from you here, because you have come to Riyadh in the shape of your life to confirm you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I put in all the hard work with my team in Ireland. I'm here now in Riyadh, and come on Saturday.
All right, thank you very much, Joseph Parker. Okay, let's talk about this main event. We all watched it in October. It was an incredible 12 rounds of boxing. The undisputed World Light Heavyweight Championship on the line. Beterbiev picked up the win that night. I want to begin by bringing in Vadim Kornilov from the Bivol side from World of Boxing Promotions. And Vadim, I'm keen to hear what you've seen in DMITRY Bivol's mentality. It's the first time he has a loss on his record, first time as a challenger. What have you seen and what are you expecting on Saturday?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Riyadh Season, His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith,
world of boxing, Rybinski, and everybody involved. This is a great opportunity for us. And I was in camp with Dmitry the entire camp this time, and I thought he was gonna win the first time. I thought the fight was very close. When His Excellency wants something, he makes it happen. When he sees injustice, he tries to correct it. And this is what happened the next day after the fight. You know, we sat down, we talked about it, and everybody agreed. Much respect to Top Rank, to the entire team of ARTUR BETERBIEV for giving us the rematch opportunity. Dmitry is more focused than ever. Gennady Mashyanov, Taylor Ramsdell, everybody knows that everything is on the line here. I've never seen Dmitry more focused, and I know that this time he will finish what he started. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vadim. Let's bring in Brad Jacobs from the Beterbiev side, from Top Rank. And you've just heard Vadim there from the Bivol side say he saw an injustice back in October. What did you see and what are your thoughts?
I certainly did not see an injustice. I thought Arthur won the fight very closely, but won the fight. Certainly the last 3 rounds were clearly Arthur's. But on behalf of Bob Arum, Top Rank, we're thrilled to be part of another event here in Riyadh. When you see a classic bout like we did in October, the fans beg to get a rematch, and thanks to His Excellency and everyone in Riyadh season, we now have one, and it's unusual to have it so quickly, and it's a testament to both fighters. So we're thrilled to be a part of it and be here, and we're looking for another victory for ARTUR BETERBIEV.
Okay, thank you, Brad. Let's bring in Eddie Hearn, of course, DMITRY BIVOL's promoter, who very much had Bivol winning. I think you said you've watched the fight back several times, and he won it every time. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fantastic fight first time around. One of the best fights I've seen up close. For me, for 9 rounds, DMITRY BIVOL completely dominated the fight. And yes, Beterbiev did come on strong and win 10, 11, 12. I stand by DMITRY BIVOL won the fight, but it was a fantastic fight between 2 great fighters. But it's done now, it's over. And the great thing for fans and for the fighters are we get the opportunity to run it back. And, you know, I want to echo what Vadim said. We want to thank ARTUR BETERBIEV because he is now the champion. You know, he is the hunted, and he's been the hunter for a long time. And I just see the look in this man's eye this week. I see something different. I couldn't believe how well Bivol took the defeat. You know, it's up to the judges, not up to me. No sulking, no moaning. Unbelievable mindset from this man. And I just truly believe you're going to see one of the great performances from DMITRY BIVOL this weekend. I'm very confident that he becomes the undisputed champion. I believe he should have been last time, but now that's done. That's over. And I expect another fight for the ages between 2 great champions. But for me, I truly believe DMITRY BIVOL will be undisputed champion this weekend.
Great stuff. Thank you, Eddie. And just another one for you, Eddie. You've got a fairly interesting relationship with ARTUR BETERBIEV. I remember that first press conference. I saw something. ARTUR did an interview with DAZN earlier this week, and he was asked about you, and he said, "Who is Eddie Hearn?" Did you see that?
You always try and do this to me, Dev, don't you? I did see that interview. I was a bit sad, to be honest with you. I thought, you know, ARTUR BETERBIEV said, "Who is Eddie Hearn?" Look, you don't know what to believe these days, but there are unconfirmed reports that back in Canada, ARTUR BETERBIEV does own a copy of my book. He bought the latest Men's Health magazine with me on the cover and has pre-ordered the Eddie Hearn pajamas that drop in 2025. So we don't know what to believe, but in all seriousness, we try and have a little bit of fun. ARTUR BETERBIEV is one of the great fighters of our generation. I respect him as a champion. But we're desperate for victory on Saturday, and may the best man win.
Thank you, Eddie. Let's just get an immediate reply from ARTUR BETERBIEV there. I hope he was listening to that. Is this true, ARTUR? Have you pre-ordered Eddie's book? Have you got some pajamas, Eddie Hearn pajamas? Anything to say?
I don't understand what they say. Who is it? Yeah. But it's not true. No.
I was just saying we're friends.
I can't
right?
say anything like you say always anything like, you know.
I know.
What you want to say always like this?
I was just saying that deep down, we're very good friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
You give me opponents and I beat them, right?
Yeah. There you go. So we're friendly.
With a good business.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Continue.
You've been planning that one.
Let's bring in DMITRY BIVOL here. DMITRY, the first fight was undefeated versus undefeated. It was champion versus champion. This time, it's champion versus challenger. What does that do for your mentality heading into Saturday?
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to say thank you again to my team who was with me, to my promoter, to Eddie Hearn, to Andrei Rybinski, Katie Duvo, she's here. Everybody who was involved in my career, I want to say thank you. And of course, big thank you to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and Saudi Arabia for this opportunity for me. And of course, thank you to Beterbiev to give me a rematch. Thank you. I'm just thankful inside of me, and I want to go to the ring and be winner.
You said this one is about revenge. How much has revenge been motivating you?
You know, all athletes, we want to win always. We so we're like gamblers, and of course I wasn't winner last time. Now I want, and it's burning inside of me, and I wanna go. I wanna change something because I can see where I was wrong, in which points, and I wanna change it. As an athlete, I want it so much.
Well, let's bring in ARTUR BETERBIEV. DMITRY BIVOL is driven by revenge. What is driving you on Saturday night?
I want to defend my belts. Very simple. Yeah.
Are you happy with the first fight?
Yes, because I win this fight.
What was your biggest learning from that first fight?
You know, there is many things. It's too long to telling you. Let's talk after fight.
Can we do some talking now at the press conference, though, please?
No, I like, you know, everything. Like we sit with my team, see you fight. Like, you know, it's always different. Like when you see a fight, we make something different. Try to be correct. Something, you know, we're working on it.
In that first fight, for the first time in your career, 3 men ringside got to decide whether or not you had won. Would you prefer on Saturday, we do not need to speak to those 3 men and you decide for yourself?
We'll see. We'll see.
DMITRY, one for you. We talked earlier in the week and you said that this time you will need to take more risks against ARTUR BETERBIEV. What does that mean? What can you tell us?
You asked me about the risk, and I answer, yeah. Every time when you are changing the punches, of course it's a risk. And with this fighter like Beterbiev, it's changing the punches, it's a risk. And yeah, sometimes I need to do it, sometimes more.
ARTUR BETERBIEV, final one to you. I know you're not a postman. I know you're not going to have a big message like that. But what is your message to the world ahead of Saturday night?
Don't miss our fight. It's going to be a good fight.
And DMITRY, again, not a postman, but the world wants to know, what will you deliver on Saturday?
Yeah, you like first fight. I'm sure the second fight will be not less interesting than first fight. Turn on your TV, DAZN, and watch the fight on February 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone at this table. Let's get these fighters faced off. Thank you.
Here we go. This one we were excited about first time round. We're equally excited about second time round. DMITRY BIVOL certainly has the crowd. He's got a big fan base. Beterbiev has the belts. This is going to be round 13, not round 1, come Saturday night, Barry.
Yeah, and they know each other now. You know, you might know, I know Beterbiev can punch under the pressure, but you felt it now. And for Beterbiev, he knows how good October Riyadh is, how fast his feet are, how fast his hands are, but he's seen it now. So they have something to work on. So theoretically, they should both be better.
It's such an intimidating face-off between these two. I asked them both, is there any history? Because they look at each other with just distaste, dislike.
They know each other from the amateurs. I mean, they've been eyeing each other for a long time, and they have that meanness, man. I mean, they don't really need to talk. They can see it in their eyes, their face. Beterbiev, this is the most talkative I've ever seen him. You can tell that he wants to promote this fight. Bivol is now the poker face guy. I mean, it's enough talking already. These guys just want to fight. That's the easiest part for world champions, is to fight.
Yeah, Bivol's now the challenger.
Yeah, do you know what I love about these two? They ooze perfection. They just want to be better. They want to perform better. Everything about them is perfect. And this fight, this rematch is just that. This is perfection. This is round 13. This is everything you dream of as a boxing fan.
Yeah, as for the Daniel Dubois question, and look, Dev did try to ask Frank Warren, we still don't know what's going on there. Again, if you're Joseph Parker, you're going to be like, you want to know something. I mean, it's a couple of days away if you're Parker.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but it is what it is. You have to adapt. Like you do, you have to adapt in the ring. You've got to adapt to every situation. So he'll want an opponent as quick as he can, so he has something to focus on, and maybe chance to maybe tinker with his preparations. But it is what it is.
Is there anything in Parker saying, okay, let me sit this out? Or just I want to fight Saturday. Find me anyone.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. You don't
Which
fly,
one?
Well, you don't fly halfway across the world to not fight. You at a camp. You want to get paid. You want to be on a big show. This is the last crescendo. It might be. I mean, you want to be on that. You want to steal the show. So you just want someone in front of you. Floyd Schofield is out. Guess what? Stevenson is not out.
Yeah, but the reason I asked that about Joseph Parker is that he's on a good run. Joseph Parker. He had a style, and Barry was saying it to me as they were doing the press conference. He's been training for 3 months for a certain style of fighter. All of a sudden, there could be a southpaw, it could be a guy that's taller and rangier. It's risky if you're Joseph Parker.
Look, as a fighter, he'll fight absolutely anyone. That's why you have a team around you. If you, Joseph Parker, he would get in with any man. I think he's in perfect condition mentally and physically, and that's why you have a team around you to pick carefully who you should be fighting. Because you've got to remember, if it isn't Daniel Dubois, which I hope it is, he's on a cuff. He was fighting for a world title. Yeah. So you don't want to derail that progress now. You want to stay on that track to be able to fight for a world title.
But there's also, with that, because you're not boxing for the world title, as much as you want to fight, there is a deflation there. You know, you are upset and disappointed that you're not getting that chance to be a two-weight world champion. So you have to try and almost reinvigorate yourself and get focused for that fight. And we talked about the same with, of course, with Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. Can he still be the same motivation for a guy who hasn't been nowhere near world class? So it's, you know, there is an adjustment you have to make, and so it is a risk. There's a risk there, but as the boys said, you can't do all that training and not fight. You see guys who win fights by one in the first round, then they go in the change room and do 3 rounds on the pads. You have to get rid of that aggression. You have to get rid of all that stuff that you've done in the gym.
Big conversation going on there. You can see it between Joseph Parker, Frank Warren, Spencer Brown, now the manager of Joseph Parker as well. I wish we had someone that could read lips there, because there's a lot going on there, isn't there? You can see Andy Lee's there in the background as well. Everyone seems to not know right now what's going on.
Body language says it all. Facial expression says it all. You don't need to be a lip reader to understand that there's an issue here, and they're trying to resolve something at the last minute. I mean, tomorrow's a Wayne. Who is it? Is this man going to be fighting or not?
Okay, there's a smile from Andy. I'm just trying to read it. There's a smile from Andy. It's going to be interesting, right? Whoever gets the opportunity, I mean, good luck to them as well, because you're going to be fighting, I think, a very angry Joseph Parker on Saturday night. All right, it is a magnificent card on Saturday night as well. Let's remind you of what we got coming your way. Ziad Al-Mayyouf will take on Yunantas de Oliveira. Muhammad Alakal will take on Henghel Gomez. Joshua Boatsi versus Callum Smith. Cracking fight, that one. Jili Zhang versus Agit Kabayel. And then we have more for you as well. Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Israel Madrimov. Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter of Virgil Ortiz, very confident about his man. Carlos Adames to take on Hamza Shiraz. Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley. This one's interesting. It should probably read question mark versus Joseph Parker. As it stands right now, it still is Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. And we just saw these two men on stage. Artur Beterbiev will take on DMITRY BIVOL. All right, we have more for you. I did say there are activations, and we're going to throw it back downstairs to your MC, Mr. Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, some very exciting news to share with you. The famous Fatal Fury video game is back after 25 years. The beta test is open, and you can go and download the game right now. Pre-orders are open now and will grant exclusive access to the ring boxing event on April 26th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to welcome some great boxers to put their video game skills to the test in a Fatal Fury match. Let's now welcome the participants. First, Zhilei Big Bang Zhuang and Agit Kabayel.
Ready, Saturday. I bang you.
And now, let the game begin.
I feel like there's a psychological edge here. You can't lose this. These guys are fighting on Saturday night, and now they're playing a game against each other as well. That game, as Thomas Triber said, is Fatal Fury. It's the relaunch. We haven't seen this game for 26 years. And in the early 90s, I mean, this was the game. So it's great to have it back. And we are going to see Zhilei Zhang and Agit Kabayel. I don't know how good they are about playing this game, but we're going to see them have a go and see what they can do. It's good for it to be back, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, of course it's good for it to be back, and it'd be interesting to see if one of these gets angry if they don't win at all to this little competition. But I think Zhang's a funny character, isn't he? I think he'll take it all in goodwill.
I don't think he will. You know, Emily Austin's in the middle of these two giants as well. Emily, what's going on down there?
Well, it looks like the fight's beginning a little bit early, obviously less at stake here. But these two, I could tell you, are very into the game. And let's see. Obviously, we're not going to evaluate their skills in the ring as good as these. I'll be honest with you. It looks like Zhilei is just spamming the buttons. Zhilei, do you know what you're doing?
Play with
Nishi Huanma?
Yeah.
I mean, he said he's having a good time. I asked him in his own language, so we're verified here. All right, what are you thinking of this game? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, very good, nice.
Okay, how do you feel that your opponent might be beating you and he's just spamming random buttons?
He KO.
Okay. We're not done. We're not done. Don't celebrate yet. This is round two. And I can tell you some feelings are hurt. Is this the revenge round? Are you going to get revenge?
What?
Do you want to get revenge in this round?
Okay.
We're going to find out. Okay, it seems like Zhilei now has some sort of rhythm behind the movement. It's equal right now. Oh! All right, I have no idea what you did, but just looked ill.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
I win, no problem.
We'll see. It looks like this is. I stand corrected. I'm sorry, Zhilei. I guess we'll have to evaluate Saturday night who the real winner is, but for now, congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Zhilei, will we see a better performance Saturday night?
Yeah. 这个不是我的强项，周六才是我的强项。
Okay, but did you have fun?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. He said yes. We're doing great. Ade, looks like they're having a very good time down here. We got the next two opponents coming soon, but you know what? It looks like this game is making a good comeback so far. You can pre-order it actually, but it comes out in April. So stay tuned till then.
All right.
I like it.
So
I like
here
it.
it is.
I want to go
Riyadh
down.
season. Are you ready for it? The fight is made. Everything is made. I'm ready for the get down. Y'all tell me what's what. I'm intrigued.